Jump scares, dead bodies, and serial killers? Today we're taking a look back at 5 more creepy video game Easter eggs. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Deep Cuts, a show that examines lore, backstories, and theories in video games. Arkham Knight's Surprise. Batman has always had gothic themes and been darker in tone. This was captured very well in Rocksteady's critically acclaimed series of Batman games. Arkham Knight was Rocksteady's third outing with the Caped Crusader, and largely delivered on what players had come to expect. Maybe minus the Batmobile combat. However, something I don't think many players expected at all were a handful of clever, extremely effective jump scares peppered throughout the game. I know I can attest to being a victim to a few of these. Though one many people likely didn't see came at the beginning of New Game Plus. Joker, who was killed at the end of Batman Arkham City, lies on an incinerator at the beginning of Arkham Knight as the flames engulf him. This scene by itself is pretty jarring. However, in New Game Plus, this scene plays out a little differently. Joker wakes up and at first seems to cry out in anguish, which then fades to laughter. Golden Tee Body. Golden Tee was a trackball arcade golf game and a bit of a staple amongst arcades back when arcades were still a thing, rest in peace. A quite basic, innocent-looking video game, probably the last place anyone would expect to find anything creepy. Particularly bad golfers may stumble across something creepy in Golden Tee 99 on hole 7 if they veered off course. Surrounded by the cover of trees is a full-on dead body lying face down, blood and everything. There's not a whole lot of explanation on this strange Easter egg online. The game goes for subtlety and realism with its visuals and presentation, so something about having this mysterious dead body randomly in the woods makes it that much more creepy. Multiple James Sunderlands. Silent Hill 2 doesn't need any Easter eggs to be creepy. It's already a horror classic. The game shoves the scares right in your face, but sometimes it's the simple things hidden in plain sight that can become the most unsettling, once you realize what you're looking at. We've talked about Silent Hill 2 on this channel before, and some of the game's implications about its protagonist. There's a lot to unpack with this game, and it can be interpreted in many ways. It's clear to our protagonist, James Sunderland, that something's very wrong in the town of Silent Hill. But not just with the strange creatures lurking about, but something wrong with the reality. Throughout the game, James will find a number of dead bodies throughout the town. It's only when you stop and really examine them does the realization start to sink in. They're all James Sunderland. Alien Message. This one kind of ties into the last video with the Harvest Moon Easter egg, as Friends of Mineral Town seems to have influenced another game of similar ilk. In Animal Crossing New Leaf at 3:33 a.m., if you go inside your house and turn on the TV, if you have one, you'll see a strange alien broadcast. Maybe creepy isn't quite the right choice of words here, but it's a fun little Easter egg nonetheless. And honestly, what is there to do in Animal Crossing at 3 in the morning anyways? Serial Killer Message. This is one of the strangest Easter eggs I've ever seen in a video game. I'm not even sure if you can call it an Easter egg. Arcade racing games were a much bigger genre in the 90s than they are nowadays. The Nintendo 64 had no shortage of this genre. Cruisin', Rush, Top Gear, Roadsters, Road Rash, the list goes on. Another racing game called California Speed certainly didn't stick out from the pack, although it did contain this very weird Easter egg. On the far side of one of the billboards in the Mojave Desert stage, a bit of text can be found. It's quite blurry and hard to read, sometimes requiring the assistance of an emulator to get a clear picture.
Sometimes, God takes mommies and puppies away. And sometimes, just sometimes, I do.
That's some Charles Manson shit. Apparently, years later, one of the developers came out and admitted it was a placeholder texture file that simply got missed. although that doesn't explain why they were using such a morbid texture placeholder in the first place. It's creepy as hell. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Deep Cuts. Let me know if you found any of these scary, and as always, if you liked the video, please hit that like button, because it really does help my channel a lot. And of course, binge watch some of my other Deep Cut videos if you enjoyed this one. Thanks again.